And welcome to a new video tutorial on pianocareeracademy.com. Today I'll begin a new series of videos dedicated to one of the most important piano subjects, dynamic gradations. The word dynamics is the term we use when we talk about the volume of the sound. How soft or how loud is the sonority of our instrument? Because this is a very complex topic, we'll divide it in 7 episodes, each one covering a certain theoretical or practical aspect of dynamics. By the time we reach the 7th episode, you'll learn how to explore the entire range of dynamic possibilities of the piano, from the softest pianissimo to the most powerful fortissimo, and everything in between. And of course, I'm going to show you how exactly to create these dynamics and what type of key attack we need to use for each one. Then you'll also find out how to create different sound intensities simultaneously, for example, playing the melody louder than the accompaniment, and also how to perform polyphonic music, playing each voice with a different sonority, even if you have 2 or even 3 voices in the same hand. These 7 episodes will change for good your perspective on piano sound and piano dynamics. Episode 1: Exploring the real dynamic possibilities of the piano. Arthur Rubinstein used to tell his students, you think that the piano is one instrument? In fact, it is 100 instruments. The truth is that the dynamic possibilities of the piano are amazing. From the softest pianissimo to the greatest fortissimo. And to everything in between. The piano also has the ability to imitate any other instrument, the human voice, the violin, the cello, or the organ, or the harp. Tip number 1: activating and training our hearing. But before we begin our explorations, don't forget to activate your hearing and to keep it as sharp and objective as possible. Yes, I know, this tip may sound a little boring, but it's fantastically effective. Ask yourself one simple question. How can you produce a wide range of different dynamic gradations? How can you play with contrasts? How can you create convincing musical images and characters if you cannot distinguish these gradations in the first place? When it comes to musical hearing, there are 2 main mistakes that beginners make. The first one is called pressing the keys randomly and waiting for what will come out, without imagining first the desired sound intensity. The second mistake is called wishful hearing. It means imagining the desired sound intensity, but not knowing how exactly to create it by using the real possibilities of the piano, and even worse, thinking that you play forte, when in fact you're producing only a modest mezzo piano. You have to train your imagination and your inner hearing so that when you see a certain dynamic gradation in the score, for example, mezzo piano, pianissimo, fortissimo, you will instantly imagine how it should sound. Then you also have to develop your objective hearing as opposed to wishful hearing. It means hearing the real sonority produced by the instrument and not the sonority that you would like it to have. In other words, your vision and your muscles should be in perfect coordination, and during these 7 episodes I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. However, when it comes to activating your hearing, the most important thing is awareness, simply remembering about it. So, no matter what you play, don't do it mechanically. Make sure you listen to the sound intensity carefully and ask yourself, is this a real forte? Or maybe you only think that you played forte. Is this piano soft enough? Or is this mezzo forte expressive enough? With practice, you'll train your ear to make the difference, let's say, between piano and pianissimo, and also between forte that when we train our hearing, we directly influence the quality of our piano tone. But more about this in one of the next episodes. Tip number 2. Which is the real dynamic range of the piano? Let's make an experiment. We'll play a chord really loud and then we'll listen to all the details of the fading sound, down to the very last moment of its extinction. As you all know, the piano is the only instrument whose sound does not last after being produced. After we press a certain key, the sound will immediately begin to fade away. So when we listen to the sound fading away, we're actually perceiving all the possible gradations of the sound volume, from fortissimo to pianissimo. So this is our realm, our dynamic universe, full of different intensities, colors and shades of the sound, being the building material that will allow us to create countless different musical characters and images. Tip number 3. Not a sound yet and not a sound anymore. The great Russian piano professor Heinrich Neuhaus used to say in his book The Art of Piano Playing that each phenomenon in this world has a beginning and an end, including the tone of the piano. We could talk for hours about the richness of the piano tone, but where exactly does it begin and where does it end? Actually, Neuhaus had two funny names that he used for showing his students the real limits of the piano sound. The first one is not a sound yet, and the second, not a sound anymore. Let's make two experiments. First, try to depress a key really slowly without any effort. This is not a tone yet, because the hammer is raised, but it didn't strike the string. Now try to produce the softest sound possible, and this is the lowest limit of the power of the sound. Now, by gradually increasing the force of the action and the height at which our hand is raised, we can reach that sound that Neuhaus used to call not a sound anymore. It's the percussive noise that results from a brutal key attack combined with an excessive speed. So, if we depress a key too slowly, we get nothing. This is not a tone yet. If we let our hand fall on the key with too much speed and with too much force, then this is not a sound anymore. This is simply a percussive noise. And of course, we're interested in mastering everything in between. This was the first episode of my video tutorial dedicated to the piano dynamic range. Today we learned about the importance of activating our hearing when we play, of training our objective hearing, so that our musical intentions will be in perfect coordination with our gestures, our technique, and the real sound that comes from the instrument. I also showed you, by using those two interesting examples, the real dynamic possibilities of the piano, from the softest pianissimo to the most powerful fortissimo. In the next episode, we are going to talk about one of the most important secrets of the Russian piano school, the whole R-action principle, and how it can influence the volume of the sound. And I'm also going to show you the #1 mistake that beginners make when it comes to creating a wide range of dynamic gradations and how exactly you can correct it. Become a member of my piano coaching program at pianocareeracademy.com by clicking on the link in the description box below, and have instant access to hundreds of piano playing tutorials that reveal the secrets of the Russian piano school and my holistic perspective on piano playing, including to the next episodes about the dynamic range. My name is Ilinca. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to send me your questions and your comments. Enjoy your practice today, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye bye!